Hello, everybody. Thank you, Sonia, for that wonderful introduction. So my name is Jonas, and I'm a co-founder of Backpaqr. And I want you to picture this. You come to a new city without knowing exactly what to do or where to go. You go on couchsurfing meetups and search for a local to show you around, but soon find the site to be full of inactive or outright sketchy profiles, making you feel unsafe. Traditional tour providers are also hardly a solution. They're often overpriced and too conventional. Finally, you look at Airbnb experience. However, you have to book an Airbnb experience on average 4 to 5 days in advance, and the process itself is time-consuming and tedious. And the problems don't end there. According to top experts and multiple studies, the tours and activities industry faces significant challenges in mobile, meaning that a lot of travelers find it extremely difficult to book tours and experiences on mobile devices due to a lack of functionality. Then there's also a lack of last-minute solutions. Over 53% of tourist activities in Western Europe are booked last minute. However, only a very tiny portion of online travel agencies even allow same-day bookings, forcing these travelers to turn to physical guide offices and pay hefty fees. And finally, there's the lack of options for solo travelers. Over 71% of all travel search queries in the United States and 67% in Europe are made for individual travelers. However, only 7% of Airbnb experiences are designed for single travelers. And other platforms do a lot worse in this regard. Now, the solution to all of these problems is Backpaqr, a platform that connects travelers to freelance local tour guides for authentic alternative adventures aiming to make travel safe, exciting, and effortless. The way the Backpaqr app works is simple. Once you arrive in a new city, you're able to browse nearby available guides on a map or through a list. However, the essential functionality that we've created that doesn't exist in the market is our adventure request feature. It allows for last-minute meetups and greatly simplifies the planning process. Here you select the type of adventure you're looking for. You specify what it is exactly that you like to do. Select a few criteria like price range and distance, and then hit send. All the guides in the area who have the Backpaqr app and adventures that fall within the category that you've selected then receive a notification on their phone. And because each notification is an opportunity to either make money or meet amazing people, they swiftly send in proposals to travelers tailored to their needs. Then travelers review the proposals they receive, find what suits them best, and the adventure begins. And a Backpaqr adventure is very different from what you find in an online travel agency or your typical guide office. Instead of a walk inside a coliseum, a Backpaqr adventure looks more like crafting and tasting Lithuanian beers with the founders of one of the most famous pubs in Vilnius, or raving in Kiev. Now, we make travel safe through employing various community building strategies, such as our innovative ambassador and invitation-based system. We carefully select who becomes part of Backpaqr's community to make sure that they're fun, welcoming, and believe in the beauty of intercultural exchange. To become the safest travel platform out there, we're also adding reviews, background checks, and optional location tracking. And even with all these added features, we ultimately give the power to our users to select who they want to meet and travel with based on elaborate and personal user profiles. On top of that, we make travel exciting by raising a very high bar for our guides and actively seeking out adventures that are rare, edgy, sometimes even extreme, that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. And finally, we make it effortless through our on-demand availability option described earlier, as well as improved matching algorithms that reduce the hassle of finding a local guide to a matter of minutes. Now, the travel industry is a massive market. Surprisingly, it accounts for over 10.1% of global GDP, and within that, for every dollar spent on accommodation and transportation, $2 are spent on experiences. And as cheap European airfare providers continue to bring down flight costs, Airbnb accommodation costs, and people have more money to spend on experiences, every travel industry expert is predicting that this is where the next big boom is going to be. However, there are still less than 20 companies doing this internationally at a bigger scale, of which Airbnb is by far the biggest of which. And according to people who have insight into the company's operations, Airbnb continues to focus on its accommodation segment and market to the audience, and it has largely missed university students and young professionals most passionate about experiential travel. Exactly the segment that Backpaqr sets out to convert. And these other platforms suffer from poor functionality, high costs, and safety concerns. There are Facebook pages, blogs, even entire books devoted to unfortunate encounters with couchsurfing creeps, for example. Now, in setting out to transform the travel landscape, we have a very highly capable team. We have experience of launching a successful company back in Lithuania that set up a two-sided market. I have experience working in the travel industry, focusing on business development in Western Europe. Paul has worked as a software engineer, and Julius has been designing, building, and selling websites for the last 7 years, and is a computer science student in NYU. And more importantly, unlike our competition, we have access to exclusive communities such as university networks and the United World College alumni group to accelerate our growth and potentially even crowdfund some of our further development. Now, the way we plan to make money is simple. We charge a 20% commission of each adventure given. And in the future, we'll also be collecting metadata and selling it to third parties, as well as organizing fully planned trips for students to take the hassle out of travel. In terms of traction, we launched a successful alpha stage prototype in January and received overwhelmingly positive responses. Our website is live and we're currently further testing in Vilnius. And after we're done with developing our app, by the end of summer, we're going to be moving to Amsterdam, London, and Paris, as over 50% of world travel takes place in Western Europe. And we invite you all to join us in our adventure and make travel safe, exciting, and effortless together. Thank you.